All right, what is going on, guys? Happy Wednesday. We've got New York session open. I normally stream Asian session, but today we are doing something a little different. We're going to stream New York session and we're going to scalp. Everyone in the Discord said they wanted a scalping session, so that's what we're going to do. Um, I'm going to actually close this trade here that I was in earlier, just because we're going to scalp together here. So I'm going to close that trade. So that was a quick $1,000 this morning. But what we're going to do is go over how I scalp. Typically, I don't scalp, to be honest with you, all the time. My main source of income and the way that I trade is typically on higher time frames. The reason for that is that I'd like to have a little bit more clarity. I think this 4-hour chart is a little easier to identify a trend compared to if you went to like a 3-minute chart or a 1-minute chart, where it's like, okay, we can see that it's an uptrend, but like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? It's a little bit harder to understand what's going on. Sydney, what's going on, man? How are you? Good to see you at this time of day. So I don't necessarily love the 1-minute or the 5-minute. I do like the 15-minute, the hour, and the 4-hour, but everybody wants to see a scalping session. So that is what we're going to do. 9:30 U.S. New York market open. Also, if you got in this trade last night from our Asian stream, congratulations, guys. I got taken out at TP3, which is great. So 50 pips. If you held longer with no take profit, this went up to 158 pips. Mainly because the European federal chair spoke, and it was good for the actual currency itself. But again, that doesn't really matter. Moving forward here, we're going to scalp some things. So we're going to look at the 30-minute to start. And again, this is different from what we normally do, guys. We're going to look at the 30-minute to start, and let's get our volume up there. So again, Euro JPY with the volume. 30-minute looks like it's retesting this zone down here and potentially moving up to the previous high, which is 184.192. So that's very important to note. If we hop down to the 5-minute here, we can see we're consolidating in what would be considered a bullish pennant. So all the rules and things that we use to trade are still valid when you're scalping, except you're doing it on a smaller time frame. So there is different instances where you can get tricked more easily, I should say. So that's where you really need to watch kind of what's going on in terms of price action and market structure. The Euro JPY to me looks like a buy. We're going to mark that as green. Euro AUD, again, I like to hop down to the higher time frames, even though we're scalping. Euro AUD and GBP AUD are doing the same thing right now. They're both buying. So we'll take a look at that. AUD JPY looks like it's selling. USD JPY, not quite sure what it's going to do. If you look on Forex Factory or the news tab in our Discord community, there is no red folder news today until 7:30 tonight. At 9:30 or at 10 o'clock, there is some orange folder news that could affect the markets, but I don't think it's going to have a crazy effect. So if we're looking at the 4-hour chart here, we're going to zoom in and really drop down to the smaller time frames to understand how to scalp these positions. So if we look at the 15-minute here, we've created a fair value gap right above our original TP1, and it looks like it's moving up. We can move down to the 5-minute now and notice the same thing. So on the 5-minute, you're going to see that you had upward movement. Your uptrend is identified. That's rule 1, right? We had a break, we had a buy signal come in because we had a full candle closure and a fair value gap created. Again, same rules that we use on our higher time frame. With the smaller time frame, you're identifying smaller moves. So if we wanted to get in this trade, let me delete this. We're going to want to see it break this high before it goes for possibly 18 pips. Now, the only downside of scalping is that you're going to make less money unless you use a higher lot size. With that, there's going to be violent moves that are going to either put you in profit or take you out of profit. So you have to be really careful with your lot sizing here. Extremely important to note that. So this is the 1-minute chart right here that we're looking at. We have kind of our buy signal that we got here. It went up And now it looks like it's going to retest this area right here. This is the zone we're looking at. We're looking at a possible retest of this area right here before we have it go up to our take profit way up here. It's important to note that your zones that you've marked on your 4-hour and your 1-hour charts are pretty much non-existent on the 1 minute and the 5-minute charts. Yes, they can be goals, but you have much smaller micro support and resistance zones here. Much smaller ones. So you can even draw them up on the smaller time frames. Like, here's our support on the 1 minute. Here's our resistance on the 1 minute. Like, we have our zones right here that we just drew out. Ideally, you want to see a breakout toward the upside or the downside of one of them. So again, essentially all we're doing is using the same strategy that we use, but on a smaller scale time frame. We could take a look at the 5 minutes since we just got a new 5-minute candle. It looks like you could scalp this down to this zone here if you wanted to for 5, 6 pips. You just got to keep in mind that you're going to have less and less profit scalping on a smaller time frame if you use the same lots you use on a larger time frame. So it is more risky. In my opinion, scalping is more risky than using an overall trend. Personally, that's how I feel about it. Euro JPY on the minute here. So we're on the 5 and the 1 minute. We're looking at the same kind of thing here. We did have a break below here. We could see these lows right here. So we had a break below the EMA ribbon and a fair value gap formed. We could see 23 pips to the downside. Now, if we go to the 5, it's currently testing that ribbon. So I wouldn't necessarily want to get in those sells to come down and test this area when we have what can be considered an uptrend here. That's an uptrend right there. So I wouldn't want to short an uptrend on a smaller time frame either. So you do have to take into consideration what your other time frames look like. I personally like the GBP AUD scalp a lot better on every time frame. Again, I'd like to see what happens within this this area that we've drawn out. It's important to mark your charts out, guys. It really is. So this is our zone right here. If we can reject this in the next couple minutes, we could look to take a buy. And again, I'm hopping between the 1, the 5, and the 15. That's all I'm doing. And we can even look at the hour just because we're coming to an hour right here. Looks like we might get this break. Because your next zone, so here are what your zones are going to be here. There, and right here. So those are your TPs on the 1 minute time frame and on the 5 minute. Like, those are your TPs if you were to sell this and go short on it. You have to keep in mind the overall trend is wicking down. So that's really important to know. For me, it's important. That's where I think that most traders have some issues in terms of understanding what they're really doing here. All right, so we got our sell signal here, guys. So on GBP AUD, we're going to enter sells. We entered sells. We had our fair value gap. We had the full candle closure below the EMA. We have the reversal at a key zone. Again, this is a very, very small moves. These are small moves that we're looking for. Very small moves here. So we are in sells on GBP AUD right now. And see how quick that happens, guys. It happens quick. So this is why you got to be on your A game here. This is going to be a perfect example of our scalping. So we've been in this trade for less than a minute. We're already almost at $300 profit. But again, I'm using a lot higher of a lot size. A much higher lot size because of... Yeah, there you go. Keep dropping. Looks like it's going to keep going here. What's the 5 minute look like? Nice, nice. Good drop off here. I already hit TP1 on one of my trades, so that's why it dropped off. And I'm closing my second trade. Closed. So that was it right there, guys. That was a total of 2 minutes. 2 minutes, and we made, let's pull it up here. Count history. What's today? Today's the 24th. So here's our here's what happened just now, guys. Here's what happened just now. We just went from, so this was last night's trade. This was this morning's trade just now. So we made 362 and 306 in less than 2 minutes. So a quick $668 right there. You can see here, this is when we opened them. This is today. So everything's there. That was a very quick way to make a really good amount of money. Most people at their job will not even make that today. 362 and 306. And I took this GBP AUD one this morning as well. So call it almost $2,000, right? $2,000 in this morning since I woke up. That's the difference between scalping. However, if this goes the other way on you, if we had that scalp wrong and we didn't use the system that we always use, the same system that we use every time, if we didn't use that system, we'd be in trouble. Because you lose 20 pips the wrong way. You lose 20 pips the wrong way, trading 10 to 15 lots. That's a lot of money, guys. That's a lot of money. What are the taxes I pay on those earnings? So I run everything through an LLC. It's a good question. I don't withdraw profits into my personal bank account. I withdraw profits into a LLC that obviously I'm the owner of. But with an LLC, you don't have liability, and you can have a lot more write-offs. So I can write off my office in my place here. Like, I have an entire office right here. This is where I do all my streaming. I can write this off. There's a lot of different things you can write off. By the way, this thing's dropping. It's going to go straight to TP3. On the 1 hour, this is going to be a sell. When we get this new 1 hour at 10 o'clock, this is going to be a sell, guys. You're going to get an engulfing, bearish engulfing candle. But anyway, going back to that, at the end of the year, after all my write-offs, and you do put your losses in, you want to hopefully pay no taxes. It's unlikely that you're going to pay 0 taxes, but it's certainly possible. Most of the years, at the end of the year, I owe between $20,000 and $70,000. But I take a portion of all the money trades that I make when I withdraw and put it into a separate account called taxes. It's a separate Bank of America account that I have that's just for taxes. And I take a percentage and put it in there after every trade to make sure that at the end of the year, I don't go, oh shit. Because there's nothing worse than that feeling, getting that bill from from the IRS, or, you know, when you go to do your taxes, them saying you owe more than you thought you did. Boy, it's cold in here. I don't know where you guys are based out of, but we got hit with a massive cold front here in Florida. Absolutely brutal. It is nasty out there. You know what I mean? So we're going to get a new hour candle here. We can go back to the 5 minute. Like, we can go back to this and say, okay, this is probably going to sell off. We now broke structure. So when you're talking about break of structure here, guys, we broke structure on the 5 minute. This was our channel the whole way up, right? Let me get rid of these lines for you just to clear this chart out a little bit. I'd feel comfortable selling that. Once we get the candle closure below the EMA ribbon and a fair value gap formed, I would feel 100% comfortable taking that. If you go to the 1 minute, it already happened. So now on the 1 minute, what you'd look at is for this, we had the break of structure. Now we'd want to retest right around this area right here and then take the sell. So that's what we'd be looking for on a 1 minute scalp here. Again, this was a great move that we just had from here to here. That was a great move. Based on the hour, though, I don't see this coming back up. It could create a wick up here and then reject more, but I think based off the candle we're getting, this is going to come down. This is going to continue to come down. So we're going to wait to see what kind of confirmations we get here. A break of the lows would be nice. So again, we can draw new support and resistances, and you're going to need to keep drawing your zones when you're trading on such a small time frame. Because on larger time frames, your support and resistances don't change for over a long period of time. Like if you go to the 4 hour here, like our major support is not going to change for a very long time. Our major resistance is not going to change for a very long time. Bodyman HG, what's going on, man? But on the smaller time frames, they're going to constantly be changing. We had 2 up here. We broke this one, went from here to here, got out. Now we have a new one. When we go to the 1 minute, oh, sorry, that's the 2 minute. When we go to the 1 minute time frame here, here's what we have. This is where we broke. This was our structure right here that broke again. It really broke up here, but our rejection is going to be somewhere in this area due to the fact that this was where it had been rejected back in the past. So you can extend these out and make your smaller time frames very similar to the way we do it on the higher time frames. So now what we want to see is what's going to happen here. Are we going to come up and retest the EMA ribbon, retest this fair value gap, or are we going to continue to drive down? I have a feeling we're going to retest going into the new hour. I think there's going to be a wick up because you have to have a wick down here for this to be able to keep going. The 5 also hasn't given us a full candle closure below. Again, we could come up and retest this zone. This could not be a full break. This could come back up to here. So we have to really be careful on these smaller time frames not to get tricked. And you have to look at a couple different time frames in order to do that. It's not just, you know, find one here and go. It's really important that you do that. But we're going to see what happens here. We got 10 minutes left until the new hour. But again, we're not 100% concerned with the hour. We're more concerned with that, A, we are getting consolidation right here at this fair value gap, which is always a positive thing. We're getting that. You know what I mean? That's what we wanted to see. Is consolidation right here showing that this is indeed serving as a resistance for us now. So our break and retest is right here. Once I reach 2,000 subscribers, I'm going to give away my indicator and access to the VIP channel for life to 2 people. Normally those are paid services, but they're going to get them for free. I randomly give it away based on like a wheel where I put everybody's name that's in the Discord and let it spin. We did it live for 1K subs. We'll do it again live for 2K subs. Euro AUD, Euro JPY, GBP AUD, they're kind of all doing the same thing. I like the GBP AUD trade the most, though. It's certainly trying. It's trying to come up and retest this area. Oops. I'm going to delete these channel lines because they're kind of distracting. That's just a big old red candle, and if you go to the 4-hour too, it's red. But again, on the 4-hour, yeah, no, we were scalping sells. So the community voted, the Discord community voted, and they wanted a scalping stream. So normally I don't scalp on stream. That's normally something I do on my own. It's very high risk, high reward. But everyone wanted to see how we do it, so we're here scalping. Normally we trade on the 4-hour, the 1-hour, and the 15-minute. We're going 15-minute, 5-minute, 1-minute today. Just to show how my method works with scalping. We already took profit from here to here. A little over $600 from here to here. Let's see, this is the retest I'm talking about. Ideally, we want the rejection right here. We don't want it coming all the way back up into this zone. Because if we do, that's going to invalidate our scalp. It's going to 100% invalidate the scalp. But it is GBP AUD, yes. Soundbox store. And if we look at the 15 here, it's coming back up. These were our zones, remember? Is it going to break through and continue back up? Or is this just a wick that's going to come straight back down? hard to tell, but you can always use that EMA ribbon as a support or resistance. It works a lot of the time, more often than not. FX Star, what's going on? Good morning. How are you today? The hour chart is what's really the surprising chart. We're going to see what happens here in the next couple minutes. Wow, what a wick there. So again, going to like our 1 minute chart here, guys. Absolute full rejection of our micro zone here. Full move up. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here. But for those that are curious of what we did on GBP AUD today, this is what we did just this morning on GBP AUD. So we bought the original uptrend, and then we shorted the downtrend here on the 1 minute time frame, and that's what we're at total. The scalp was about 600 of that. The other 1100 was a long that I took this morning. But this is what we're looking at for just this morning on GBP AUD. And this is liquid charts is what I use, guys. We're going to get some interesting charts here coming into this hour, because this is the first 30 minutes of the New York Stock Exchange being open. And again, typically I don't trade this, as most of you guys know. Typically I'm on Manny, what's going on? How are you? Good to see you, Manny. Sorry I didn't see your message there. Good to see you. That's a wild candle right there to flip bullish. Like after all that movement. And again, you can't hold the scalp that long, guys. We held that scalp for a total of 2.5 minutes. For a little over 600 bucks. 2.5 minutes for this move. And now for it to come all the way back up. Like that would take a lot of people's accounts out, especially if you're using high leverage and a larger lot size on your scalping process, you know? Just gotta be careful. And that's why I don't typically teach scalping to the public unless they Tammy, no, the indicator's separate. The indicator is separate. The $297 a month gets you 1 month free of the indicator, but the indicator is gonna be when you click pricings and plans. So when you go to Trading with Matt, I'll just send you the link. The Indicator Pro, the pricings and plans are right here. It's right here. I just sent it to you. So yeah, the indicator's separate. It took me a lot of time to do. The indicators, essentially, you don't have to learn my system. That's the difference. If you don't have the time or the want to learn my system, just use the indicator and wait for the signal. It's all of my rules. No problem, Tammy. What a move that was, guys. That hour closure is absolutely insane. That is the most wild hour closure I've ever seen. I think I'm long on GBP AUD. Thailand Divers. There he is. But yeah, I think I'm going to delete these tiny zones because I know you guys want to scalp, but after that candle, I don't think I'm scalping that. We still could. No, we still could. Again, same concept, so we're going to get rid of these now. We're going to get rid of those. So these are our zones, really. Same with the 1 minute. The 1 minute, we've got our small micro zones. We got the buy signal right here on the indicator. We could take buys here, but again, I kind of want to see it break the highs. Breaking the highs would be extremely good. Again, we're only 1 minute into the new hour candle, so. We'll see how these first 5 minutes close, and we'll see if we can get another scalp in here. It's just some wild movement there. So from 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. In the last 30 minutes, we've seen 38 pips either way. So the skill of scalping can certainly pay off, but it takes time to know how to do it the right way. You're analyzing from a top-down mentality here. It's just important to know that. And if you guys have questions in the chat, just go ahead and ask. I have no problem answering. I'm very good about answering the chat and answering your questions because, again, that's what we're here for. We're all here to get better. But I've been doing this for 15 years, so if you have questions, now's your time. Miguel, what's up, man? What's going on, Miguel? We missed you last night. Hope you're doing well. Telling you, I like the buy. I just want to see it break the highs. Oh, I bet, man. I know you love that London session. London session took us home last night, baby. All the way to TP3. Thank you. USDJPY looks like it's going to come down. Let's take a look at the 5 minute here. Oh, we might get a move here, guys. We might get a move on this USDJPY. We got the sell. We got the sell on the USD JPY. Might wait one more minute for it to close, see what it gets here. So here's what our lines are going to look like here on the sells. And again, higher risk. All right, so here's our new minute candle. We might take a sell here, guys. See if it's going to retest this zone or not. But again, we're using the same strategy we use on the higher time frames, just on scalping. What the 5 do? Yeah, this thing's going to drop. I'm going to get in a sell here, guys. We're going to scalp a sell here. I think we're going to scalp a sell here. We're going to put this tighter, though. See, that's why we just wait. Hold on. Yeah, I'm getting in a sell, guys. On USD JPY. I just sold. I'm in a sell. I'm in at 155.961. And if we go to the higher time frame, guys, like the hour, this thing's going for, I think it's going for much more. I think realistically, we should probably go to the 5 minute here and drop this thing down to here. You can add some more take profits here and down here if you wanted to. But that's what I'm thinking for this right here. Remember, this is a scalp, guys. Man, it's freezing in my house right now. We're actually going to move this stop loss too to the top of that. Still have good RR, but yeah, that's what we're going to look at right there. I'm going to send this out to the guys too. Yeah, GBP AUD ended up dropping off a cliff too. That 15-minute EMA ribbon's not favoring us, but when you go to the hour, it's got so much room to move. It's hard to not get tangled up in looking at multiple charts when you're doing this, but it's just how you got to do it. I think we're going to come down to here pretty much. I think we're looking at the head and shoulders right here. So your left shoulder, your head, this is where I think you're going to come down to before you come back up here and possibly come all the way back down here. But this is our main goal right here. Oh, let me send this out to the guys. Here we go. Well, I like the movement here. Would like to see it break the lows there. Okay. Here's the drive. Let's look at the 1 minute here. We want to see it break that low there. Right here. Don't be shy, little candle. One minute time framing, guys. Could give you a heart attack. Candle's moving a lot quicker. Not as zoomed out of a view of the overall trend. I think we're going to push down here. Oh yeah, we're going to drop down. And so you have to understand too what your target is with this is a lot different. Like I'm not targeting 30 to 40 pips. Like our first one's 7 pips. 7 pips going to get me like $400. So like the difference is like I'm not targeting these massive moves. We're targeting smaller moves. Like in the next couple minutes, if we don't get the movement that I like, we'll get out of it with just $200-300 profit. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Oh yeah, this thing's going to drop. Coming up to the EMA ribbon on the 15, and that's why we're getting some issues here. Is it's rejecting the EMA ribbon slightly. But again, the 1 minute shows you got some room. We are currently about 3.9 pips in profit on a scalp for a little over $200. Oh, yeah, they do. Let's see what that new 15 did. Or does, I should say. The only thing that makes me nervous is, again, this EMA ribbon on the 15. Like that. Talk to text. Are you using it on your phone? Yeah, 1.4 pips is almost $100 though, so these moves matter. JV Joe, good morning. I've already successfully closed out of don't get on this, Nick. Yeah, we've already successfully scalped a couple today. This is our profit so far this morning on our scalps. Oh, 1783. Man, if it was 1738. Yeah, I am. Yeah, 1 to 500 leverage is what they let me trade at. They let you trade at anything, 1 to 50 all the way up to 1 to 500. I personally use 1 to 500. But I'm also trading with a pretty large account. Let's check the 1 minute here. 1 minute's coming up to retest this zone right here. Here's what I'll say too about scalping. You need to decide if you're going to stay in the trade or not a lot quicker than on the long-term ones. So if you get to break even and you're not liking what you're seeing on a scalp, get out, because those 4 to 5 extra minutes can completely destroy your account when you're using a higher leverage and scalping with such high lot sizes. Like, we're going to have to decide here in the next, 3 minutes if we're going to stay in this or if we're going to get out. If we want to just space it off the scalp. But if you want to go back to the 1 hour and the 4 hour, still looks like it's coming down to me based off this previous candle right here. You've got some pretty strong rejection areas right here. But we're going to go back to the minutes. Because it did the same thing right here. So right here, it came up, you know, pretty big candles right into the EMA ribbon, then came down and completely rejected. So could be doing the same thing here, but again, we did break this previous high. So we could finish off the W pattern right here, or we could just come straight down, or we could come back up and retest these zones. So with scalping, like I said, you gotta be real careful. You guys that are using liquid brokers too, there's a hedge all orders button. I don't suggest using it all the time, but it can be helpful. Yeah, the 15-minute EMA ribbon is what got us here, so... I just want to see if we're going to reject down. I still think the long-term play is a sell. But it's a lot more emotional trading with the high lots like this and seeing these moves. You know, in 4 or 5 minutes, you could lose hundreds of dollars. So like having your emotional intelligence in place really needs to happen when you're trading on this kind of time frame. Emotions got to be in check. Have to. Because, like, we know that we've already made $1,700 this morning, right? We've already made this. So, a loss of 300 bucks ain't going to kill us. That just brings us down to, you know, $1,400 profit for the morning. But that's the chance that you take when you scalp. And I do not advise scalping on your phone, guys. At all. I do not advise scalping on your phone. Always make sure you're in front of a computer. Yep, you're 100% right, Migo. I agree with you there 100%. But we're already in this trade longer than I would have liked on a scalp. Yeah, especially with that kind of movement. Is there an indicator for session highs? Session high, session low. Oh yeah, they're there. So you have a London high kill zone. London kill zone high, London kill zone low. And we're right in the middle of it. Where's Asian session? So Asian session high was here, and yeah, this is where it broke. Wow. It is cold in here. Tell you what, on the hour though, again, I think this is going to create a wick. On the hour, I think you move that to there. And you hold this. I don't think we sweep London high on this. We could, though. Certainly a possibility. So at probably right between 15 to 20 pips, we'd make a decision here on what we're going to do. Because again, this was a scalp, like I mentioned many times here. Hey, we're going to watch the minute here. There goes my AirPod. WQ Corty, what's up? How are you today? It's coming down. Oh, nice. My ads are active. Here's the move. There's the move we were looking for. Adele's back. Adele, you missed it. We had a bit of a morning. We had a bit of a live scalping morning, man. Only the people in the live got it, but that's what we did this morning, my man. Looks like we might do all right on this one, too. Again, a little nervous there on that 1 minute time frame trading, but we're scalping our way to glory here. Yet last night we had one, but that's it. All right, if we can break this right here, there we go. There's the break we were looking for. Sell signal activated right there. Okay, let's see what we got. TP1, good. TP2, next. Let's see here, guys. That's what we were waiting for, was that drop off. If you want to move your stop losses to break even, I'm going to actually send that out. Actually send that out. Yeah, and like now that we're deep enough in this right now, it's not a big deal. Matt, do you know if Liquid Broker has a demo? Liquid Brokers does have demos. Yes, they do. They do, Joe. They have demos and live accounts. There's the move. There's the rejection. So now we want it to consolidate right here. Benny, what's up, man? Now we want it to consolidate right here to show that we're going to keep moving down. This is a scalp, Adele. We have this going all the way to here on the hour. On the 1 minute, we have a very, very short leash here. But on the hour, I still think this is coming down to here for, oh boy, maybe, I still think this is coming down to here for probably 50 pips. You're gonna retest the EMA ribbon. So we have London low and London high. I think we're gonna retest London low. What's up, Benny? We've been streaming for a little bit here, man. For about an hour and 15 minutes. We already made some money, which is good. We've already gotten out of 2 separate trades. But you're not late. No, we're still streaming. So like we talked about making your micro zones on your 1 minute time frames here, guys. There's 1 and there's 2. So these are micro zones, very, very small zones. You had your break of structure right here. We're retesting the break of structure area. We want to see it reject this and continue down. That sell signal worked nice there. Sold off for 10 pips. Pouring concrete, that's a tough job. I've done that before. By the way, JV Joe, if you need the link, it's right here. Oh man, it's cold. Hovering right at this zone. This new resistance that was a support. Like we talked about earlier too, this little head and shoulders that we got going on here. I think this is where I thought it was going to go to. We may have tapped that position already, but we'll see. We're going to hang out for a couple more minutes to see what happened. Ooh, I got to stop doing that. See what happens. That's a nasty move. Nasty little move there. This is USD JPY, Benny. Well, again, it's the 1 minute, guys. So like you have to realize we held on the one. It's the 1 minute. We held when we got in up here. We held 15 pips negative on a 10 lot trade, You know, we were almost 500 negative, and then we went positive for another 11 pips, about 4 or 500. So again, on the 1 minute, it's something you want to get in and out of quickly. But again, I'm not really worried. Unless it breaks this high up here, then we might have some problems. But I'm not really too worried. The 1 minute has so much movement that is just very unpredictable, you know. That's why you look at the overall trend. You actually had a break of structure here. No, it's still on the same trend. Ten lots. Yeah, I like scalping New York. Again, it's just something that you have to know what you're doing. I've said that 100 times today. Risk management, emotions, everything's got to be in check. Just like a job, you got to go through the whole checklist. There we go. That's what we want to see. See this thing keep dropping. The retest of the zone, again, the yellow zone's not just where I draw. It's this whole area is a zone. Is it just going to create a wick and drop? We'll see. There are no views in the New York session. I don't know if everybody's already got their normal trader or because in the United States it's after work. Like in the US, like New Asian session, people are not at work, so they can be on their phone. I don't know what it is, but we just do not get that many views in the New York session. Last New York session we got over, or last Asian session, one of our streams got over 10,000 views. Meanwhile, I can't even break 150, 175 in the New York stream. It's wild. Still have 15 people consecutively watching, but all right, let's see this thing drop. What are we coming into? A new 15? Yeah, we are. New 15 and a new 5. Would like to see the 5 close bearish. Bearish close on the 5 would be awesome. There's the move, guys. That's a good move. Break it. Break it. Break this low. Isn't scalping fun, guys? You sit negative, you sit positive, you sit negative, you sit positive. It's nerve-wracking, to say the least. Alright, let's see this new minute just drop off the face of the earth. There we go. Keep going. What's the hour look like? Just curious. Yeah, that's the hour we wanted to see. Keep dropping. Surprised it didn't give us a sell there. There you go. Keep dropping. All right, we're heading toward TP2. Just break that low. All we want to do is see it break that low. I know it's going to have trouble. All right, get your mouses ready, guys. We may be getting out of this. Broke the low. Broke the low. So we're waiting for TP2. I'm out. There we go, guys. And that is how you do it. Out 100% at TP2. So we can refresh this, I believe. Here is our USD JPY profits just now, guys. That's our USD JPY profits for today. Scalping. That's how you do it. You guys wanted a scalping stream? You're good. You're good. You guys wanted a scalping stream? There's your scalping stream. This is today for me though, guys. This is today's total for me. From last night, I should say from last night to today, from last night's trade, because we technically took profit in today. It is past 1 a.m. So this is, and again, for your risk to reward ratio, guys, for your RR guys, I'm going to give you one of these big old birds because I had negative RR, 1 to 0.9. So don't let anyone tell you that we can not make money with a negative RR. They're full of it. That's going to be it for the New York stream, guys. We got two successful two successful snipes in here on some scalping. So I'm very happy with that. I hope you guys are too. This is exactly what you guys voted for in the chat, so this is what we got. I feel very confident that we've gone over this well. If you guys are in VIP and you want to do one-on-ones, we can go over that in your meeting for the week. or for the month, depending on what plan you're on. And if you're looking to get more one-on-one coverage, time with me, you certainly can. Tradingwithmatt.ai. That's it for me, and that's why we get out when we get out right there. Broke the lows, hit our TP2, and we took, what was that? 13 pips of profit for a little over $700. So, as we always finish, I will finish with a round of applause. Appreciate you guys showing up for the early morning New York stream. Thank you guys. Great stream. Great profits. That's the way you do it when you want to scalp. This thing still may come down too. But I'll probably be done trading till the Asian session tonight. Thank you guys. Really appreciate you guys coming.